Welcome to the Frontline Fantasy Football Podcast. This is your host, Jason Cameron, and I'm here with my co-host, Brandon Alessio.
Hello, Jason.
And Jonathan Hausler.
Hello.
Who is not the producer today because the producer, the eyes and ears, is finally here, Seth Hansen.
I'm back. I'm so glad.
Welcome back, Seth. Glad to have you.
So is Tiger
here.
Woods.
He's,
blessed.
he's back, but he's not good.
He's back from back surgery.
He's back.
Oh.
Nice. So today is Wednesday, November 29th. And I just wanted to start off this podcast by asking if you guys found any good Black Friday or Cyber Monday deals.
Did you?
I mean, I was literally this close to buying
It's about an inch.
a pocket mini motorcycle.
Are you for real?
What?
For real.
For
That
Blake
is
or
the
what?
most. I thought you were going to say like a 4K TV or
You
something.
know, I
Yeah.
was dying for one. No, I get that if you turn around, Seth, I have a 4K TV.
Oh, you do?
55
Is that a
inch.
Vizio?
I don't know what it is. I believe it is.
A pocket motorcycle?
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
anyway,
Why?
$700 marked down to $200. I was dying to get one when I was 14.
Was it gas powered?
Yeah, oh yeah. Or yeah, dying to get one when I was 15.
You're too big for that.
That's the point. Like you're supposed to look awkward on them.
It would have been
It's like
a blast.
you remember monkey bikes, dude?
It was marked down $500.
Still.
So why didn't you buy it?
Well, the weight limit was 165, but I was willing to look past that.
It wouldn't. It
Yeah.
wasn't willing to look past you. You'd
Just-
have broken that thing.
The problem was that all the good colors sold out really fast. There was like two flame-colored ones, a red and a yellow flame, green, blue, black, and then like black with like yellow stripes.
Ooh,
And all those
Hawkeyes.
sold out, so all that was left was pink. And so
Okay.
I couldn't bring myself to getting a pink mini
Oh,
pocket
man.
rocket.
Yeah, probably a good call.
Yeah, so how about you guys? Anything? Nothing for Seth?
No.
Just some movies.
What movies?
Oof. That's a tough one.
Gotta make him
I'm trying to
remember.
think.
Planet of the Apes, right?
Oh, yeah. New Planet of the Apes.
Sweet.
Spider-Man.
Second one of
new
that
Spider-Man.
sucked.
No, it did.
I hope the third one was
What?
better than the second one. The
Are
second
you
one
kidding me?
sucked. They took everything that was good about the first one and ruined it.
They had to expand Seth.
Whatever.
I do wish James
You
Franco
took
were in it,
you took
but
the best part of the first one and you just
Just because you
took
have a crush on
you just
James
took a
Franco
dump
doesn't
on
mean the
it.
second
I
one
have a
wasn't
crush
good.
on James
Don't we
Franco.
all?
Dirty Koba.
That's the
Don't
new
we all?
title of this episode. Seth has a crush on James Franco.
Dude,
Don't
the
even
guy's
blame him
the
at
guy's
this point.
legit.
Yeah.
He's got like 3 degrees.
He's smart.
He's very smart.
Can't wait for the Disaster Artist. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
So
so
Jonathan,
good.
anything before we move on to actual fantasy football?
Jean jacket. That's about it.
Ooh, did you get a Canadian tuxedo? Do you have a nice pair of jeans to wear with your jean jacket? So
Yeah.
you look like an ultra douche.
I should.
Wow.
I'll wear it. I'll
No,
wear it to
he
the
could wear
podcast.
it sarcastically.
Ironically.
The right jean jacket could actually work.
Last week of the
Could be a game
podcast,
changer.
I'm wearing it.
Why not next week?
I mean, I don't. I think
Start off the playoffs.
It's supposed to be. I think it's gonna be a Christmas present, so I have to wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, last week of the podcast it is. So let's move on to injuries. First up, Amari Cooper, concussion, sprained ankle. Doesn't look like he's going to play this week. So,
Another player on my team.
yep,
Oof,
Seth
same.
Roberts is up. This was in the news, but Michael Crabtree, Aqib Talib, suspended for fighting. They were suspended 2 games, and then I believe Crabtree's got moved down to 1. I don't know about Aqib Talib. I haven't heard anything on him. So, only missing.
I thought they both did for some reason.
So they probably both did, but I only heard about Crabtree. Only fantasy relevant players.
Gotcha. Yes.
Next injury, CJ Beathard had a left knee
Beathard.
bruise.
Beathard.
Bethard. Sorry.
Get it right.
Left knee bruise and a hip strain. Was actually cheered when he got hurt on the last play of the drive. Or the last drive of the game. So Jimmy Garoppolo came in, threw a touchdown. He's going to start this Sunday.
The Beathard era is now over.
Thank goodness.
Never even began.
Next injury, Paxton Lynch. What did he injure? He injured his ankle as well. Finally got back from the shoulder injury, then came back, got his chance, injured his ankle. So now Trevor Simeon's going to start on Sunday.
What a disaster. What a disaster.
It's like
Seriously.
a dumpster fire.
It is of quarterbacks.
Greg Olsen injured his foot, same foot he injured earlier this season. Basically just soreness, so they held him out. Still expect him to play this Sunday. Doug Martin got a concussion. Still going through the concussion protocol. Looks like he's going to play this week. I actually have him ranked, but Jaquiz Rogers is his backup. If it comes out that Doug Martin isn't going to play, Jaquiz Rogers is the guy you'd want over Peyton Barber, even though Barber had those 2 touchdowns last game. Damian Williams for the Dolphins, if you didn't know who he was, dislocated his shoulder, so Kenyon Drake has pretty much got the backfield all to himself. I hadn't even heard of the third string. I
didn't either. I haven't either.
Yeah, so, it's all systems go for Kenyon Drake. Deshaun Kaiser, Brandon's vulture.
Stole another one this week.
Isaiah Crowell's vulture, more like it.
Yeah, stole another one.
Has a concussion. Hasn't came out whether he's going to play or not. Chris Hogan's the backup. If you're an Isaiah Crowell owner, you're hoping that Hogan is going to start.
Yeah.
And then just some clarifications. Devonta Freeman finally been cleared cleared from his concussions. Been gone for 2 games. Going to be back. Yeah, Seth's depressed because he has Tevin Coleman.
Oh, man, he's been doing really well.
He's
been gone.
Balling.
True.
And then Jordan Reed also. He's going to be out again. So Vernon Davis, he had 0 catches last week against the Giants, but he's still going to be a top 10 tight end this week. So we'll move over to news. First bit of news was the Michael Crabtree, Aqib Talib suspended for 2 games, right? We already talked about that. Now 1. And then I just had a note right here. Crabtree anticipated Aqib Talib trying to take off his necklace, so he actually taped his necklace to his chest. And Aqib Talib, with the quick hands he has, got to his necklace.
Still ripped it. Maybe you should just not wear the necklace when they play the Broncos.
No, you got to have...
Or Talib could just be a decent human being.
Yeah.
One of the 2.
I think it's just funny that he knew that it was going to happen, so he he took
Self-fulfilling
precautionary
prophecy,
measures.
man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that'd be very comfortable, but
No.
I can't imagine it'd be comfortable wearing a chain under your shoulder pads anyway. So.
Or getting it ripped off would
Yeah.
not feel good either.
I'd be ticked, too. That's probably an expensive chain.
Probably.
And then the last bit of news, Eli Manning has been benched for Geno Smith, the dude who couldn't even beat out butt fumble. So
Ugh.
I have picked up the Raiders defense. I think you should too. Raiders defense, a top play for me this week. So let's move on to dogs versus babies. This was not a good week for the babies.
No.
Noted, Jason.
Also, was not able to get Brandon's video up for whatever reason. I had terrible connection, even though I had full bars. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but
Nice.
I saved you guys from missing out on a poorly filmed video.
Ooh.
So first one, we have Carlos Hyde versus Lamar Miller. Ezra and Blake both chose Carlos Hyde. Chief chose Carlos Hyde, and Seth's dog Khaleesi chose Lamar Miller. So
Oh.
dogs went 1 for 2. Babies went 0 for 2.
You just roasted him so slightly. That
No,
was
I knew what it
Really
was.
well done.
He knew it wasn't a good video.
No, I know, but
I took a more cinematic approach.
He's the only one. And this isn't meant
Gotta
as a
get
roast,
creative.
but he's the only one without a significant other. So, and the
I
significant
got one hand to film.
That's
with.
true.
significant others have been filming for the
Yeah.
most
That's a
part
good
in our
point. That's a
videos.
good
So,
sounds like an excuse to me, though.
I
I'd have
mean,
Cody hold the camera if he could.
his cats.
But he
So
can't.
dogs are 4 for 10. Babies are 3 for 10. Dogs take the lead with 3 weeks left to go. No,
We need
4 weeks left.
We need
to
a
go.
comeback.
We definitely
Maybe you
do.
should tell your kids to get a little smarter.
We need to educate them on fantasy.
Thank you. Taking a shot at our kids. All right. So, first segment up. Struggle is real.
Ooh.
Jonathan, you want to describe this one?
Yes, this one going through some teams that are currently struggling. Their struggle is very real right now, and just what to do with those players on those teams. Can you start them? Should you bench them? It's playoff time. It's when it matters. So
So my fantasy team, 7-game losing streak.
the struggle is real.
Well,
Oh, man.
we probably will talk about some players on your fantasy team, but
Probably everyone.
to start off,
Jordan Howard, 1.9. I'm talking to you.
Broncos, we have the C.J. Anderson and Devontae Booker.
No!
That's a good response.
So,
Luke had them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my gosh.
Both of them.
No, he had C.J. Anderson, I think.
yeah, he played
He
C.J.
did,
Anderson.
nothing.
I
One
would have
1.2
guessed
points.
C.J. Anderson let him
Nothing.
down.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, C.J. Anderson for me is droppable.
Yes.
I don't care. I mean, you're not going to play him, and at this point in the season, you need to be picking up handcuffs or players that you know, like a defense or a kicker that you know you're going to start in
Right.
the upcoming weeks.
Right. And C.J. Anderson's been pretty terrible for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And you can't even start Booker. I mean, they both totaled just 13 touches together last week. Booker had the edge, 8-5. Yeah.
Jackass.
Seriously, it's terrible. So you can't start either one. I mean, and it's a total timeshare. You can't trust either of them.
I'd keep Booker though. He's at least, if you can't get your handcuff, he's at least somebody that you could end up playing and not feel comfortable, but you at least know he's going to get some touches.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, yeah, he's the one that the coaches like the most for some reason. But I still would not feel good playing him.
I think Anderson's also been double digits twice. Twice.
And
this year.
it was both early on.
Standard scoring.
Yep, first 4 weeks after the bye, it's been 7 straight single digits.
Right, and they fired their offensive coordinator. Another guy moved up, so I mean, and nothing really changed.
That
So-
translated into 5 carries
Well,
for 12
yeah.
yards.
Right.
It's like it's his fault though. He's got no quarterbacks. He's got Brock Osweiler, Trevor Siemian, and Paxton Lynch. Like,
True.
what is he supposed to do?
Those are 3 right there.
I mean, it started out. I mean, he did it. He was okay at the beginning of the year, but then they started working in the other backs. So I think that's been the problem, is turning it into a timeshare. Obviously, has not really worked to their favor at all.
So I think the people or the fantasy relevant players on the Broncos are Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, and I think people care more what to do with them.
Yes.
Obviously, both aren't droppable, but are you starting them?
The only one I would start would be Demaryius Thomas. I would not start Emmanuel Sanders at all. I would just keep it with Demaryius Thomas, especially this week when they play the Dolphins. Dolphins' defense is really bad, and they've been allowing a lot of points to wide receivers.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like starting either one. to be
I
honest.
wouldn't feel great.
No, you don't.
I just think Demaryius Thomas is actually only startable for me when he's with Brock Osweiler.
Didn't he have 3 games in a row?
Yeah,
with
3
touchdowns?
consecutive games with
Touchdowns each one.
touchdowns from Brock Osweiler. Other than that, he's just been completely inconsistent. I mean, you can plug him in with Trevor Siemian, but he's almost a must start for me with Brock Osweiler,
Would've
which
thought
is
Osweiler would be the X factor.
weird to say.
It is very weird.
So let's move
Don't
on to
like
the
it.
next team. We have the Chiefs. So I'll start off at QB, Alex Smith. He originally was a must start. They're a set it and forget it type of player.
You are one pathetic
But
loser.
they are 0 for what? The 6-game losing streak? They got a Brandon going right now?
I'm 7, but
Oh, okay.
Mm.
the only
Almost a
difference
Brandon.
between us, myself, and them is that they actually started well as well. I was terrible at the beginning. I was terrible at the end.
Started from the bottom,
Still there.
still at the bottom.
I've regressed. I'm below the bottom. I started at the bottom and I went down. I dug a hole.
Drowning.
Hey, you're not in last place.
Might as well be.
Cheer up,
Who is?
Dan. He's got 3 wins now.
No,
Actually,
he's
you're
got-
tied for
yeah,
last
we're
place.
tied.
Ooh.
Pretty
Nice.
sure he has the win on me too.
Nice. So you're in last place. Never mind then.
Yeah, it's fine.
So Alex Smith, I guess, just a matchup dependent player.
Yeah, he's back to the Alex Smith of old that we knew from last year. Basically, he's right. I saw a stat. He's averaging only 6.3 yards per pass attempt. When he was in the
Jeez.
beginning of the year, when they were playing really well, it was 8.7. So definitely gone down quite a bit.
How much of that is on him, and how much of that is coaching, though? Are they?
I think it's still on him.
I think
It
it's on
is.
him.
It's on him, and maybe the
severely doubt they're
offensive.
calling that type of offense.
Maybe the offensive
Well, it's
line a
'cause
little
he's-
bit
Like,
too, but
you remember when you played well? Don't do
Yeah,
that
how about you
anymore.
stop that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Can you stop?
it could be a little bit on play calling. They're not giving the ball to Kareem Hunt, who's the next player we're going to talk about,
Right.
and that could mean that defenders are sitting back. But I don't know. I think it's more on him.
I agree.
So just matchup dependent for us.
I actually dropped him in one league today.
Oh, really?
It was an 8-team league
For what? Oh, 18.
for Philip Rivers.
Fair.
Yeah.
How about Tyrod Smith? Tyrod Taylor, sorry.
He was available, but
Would you rather have Tyrod Taylor or Alex Smith?
Depends if the Bills want to play him or not.
I know. I
If
think
the Bills are playing him.
I think I still go Alex Smith.
Yeah, me too.
Just because I mean, I don't think they could pull him, but I don't think they're going to.
How about Case Keenum or Alex Smith?
Case
Keenum for sure.
I can't
Okay.
believe I'm saying that.
So up next, Kareem Hunt. Still a must start for me.
Really?
He's just too good. I mean, you're gonna get burned. He's not a wide receiver 1 anymore.
No.
I mean, a running back number 1 anymore. But
No, he's not.
I just feel like you're gonna get burned. He's gonna score 40 the one game you decide to
It's
bench
very
him.
true. And the hard part is like you probably don't have better options unless you're in like an 8-team league or something and you're stacked,
Yeah.
But so that's the hard part. You probably at some point he's still probably your best play.
Well, he also hasn't scored a touchdown since week 3,
Right.
which has
It's
got
crazy.
to do with part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, since week 3, he hasn't scored above 12.1 points in
Yeah.
standard scoring.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you exclude last week, 'cause he was going against the Bills defense, which is probably one of the best in the league. But yeah,
Okay.
good
Sarcasm.
sound drop. I'm kidding. But he had his 3 disappointing weeks before that were like 7, like 8 and 6, which still aren't horrible
Right.
by any means.
And the hard part is they're just I don't know. He's not involved in the passing game hardly at all, and just he's not getting as many carries as he was in the beginning either.
Yeah,
They didn't even give it to him much then, anyways.
they were taking him out and putting Charkandrick West in for
Yeah.
passing plays.
Which
What
is
are
a
you
mistake.
doing?
It's a mistake.
So yeah, must start still for me,
Mhm.
for all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Especially on my team.
We're not talking about your scrub team. All right, Tyreek Hill.
Ugh.
I haven't heard much out of him lately.
It's
I'm looking. Yeah. there's a reason.
just because he's gone downhill because Alex Smith has gone downhill, basically.
Must start still.
No.
I'd say yeah.
Oh,
Even in his 2 bogus weeks in a row, he still had 7 catches in each one.
And
So he's involved at least. It's not like he's going like 1 catch for 30 yards. Like 7 for 40 is a whole lot better.
right, but still, I mean, in PPR that's fine, because I mean that's still double-digit points in PPR. And standard, I wouldn't. I have him. I'm not starting him anymore.
Fine. Maybe not must start, but I'd start him if that makes sense.
There you
I
go.
don't know. I'm still on a must start.
I think if you believe the home and away splits, how he plays really bad at home, really good at away, then this week would be a boom week. It would be a good week.
We'll have to test that theory out. See what he does this upcoming week.
Yeah.
All right, the team up next is the Cowboys. So it started off quarterback Dak Prescott. Droppable? You want to keep him on your bench?
Ugh.
Must start? Oh, no.
I'm keeping him on my bench.
Winning.
He's thrown for fewer than 200 yards in 4 of his past 5 games. Basically, has just gone way downhill.
He's only thrown for a
Zeke not
touchdown in one of the past 4 or 5 games.
There you go.
And that was the one he threw over 200 yards. But
Ugh.
Nice.
Yeah, not good. But I don't know. I don't think I'm benching him. I don't think I'm dropping him, but I'm definitely benching him.
Big Boo?
he is available in my league, and I'm still choosing to start Marcus Mariota. So that should say enough about that. So I'd say definitely I'd still wouldn't take him on my team.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the season, you kind of need a roster, just some backups, and I'd probably rather have him than like Blake Bortles or Deshaun Kaiser,
Not saying
or I
much.
mean, yeah,
Simeon.
yeah, over those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, me too.
But you're not happy about it.
Mm-mm.
No.
So up next, Des Bryant.
He's been underperforming all season.
He's been underperforming for 5 years. 3 years at least.
I was looking forward to this part.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because you picked him to be a top 10 receiver last week in bold predictions.
We were very
Yeah,
surprised.
believe me, I
You
was
are an
being
idiot.
very bold.
You're an idiot.
I was like, you know what?
Couldn't agree
Maybe
more, Seth.
I believe in miracles, but it seems like miracles don't even work for Des Bryant anymore. I remember it was like a month and a half ago. It was like 15 straight games without 100 yards, so it's probably up to like 20 now at least. But yeah, he's been terrible.
Very, very bad. He's still you can't drop him still. That's the hard part.
You're probably not playing him.
You're not playing him, but he's riding the bench.
Yeah, he's holding tight.
He has like no upside though. Like if you look at his highest total this season was 12.3. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's got a very low ceiling. He's a one-story house,
He's
maybe in a basement.
He's a physical freak. That's the only reason you're keeping him on your team.
I think the other thing I was reading somehow he's not even getting separation from the cornerbacks at all. You know, so it's just he's lost. Seems like he's lost some of his agility a little bit too.
And
But
then-
yeah, the whole offense as a whole is strong.
I got triggered on Thanksgiving. He got a first down. It did the first down marker, and he was celebrating. It was his first catch, and it was in the second half. I'm like, put that hand down and get back on the line. Like, stop this.
He got the first down, did he not?
He looked like an idiot.
He still got the first down. So we have Alfred Morris up next. So
This one's hard because when he gets the ball, he's doing well. He has a 4.9 yards per carry, which is good, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just not getting the ball enough. He's been game scripted out of each game, and just he is not in the receiving game at all. That's Rod Smith, so that kind of hurts him
I'd
a
still
lot too.
keep him.
yeah, you're keeping him.
I'm not starting him.
I
So-
think on deeper leagues like 12 and 16 team leagues, I think he's a must start. I think you're gonna struggle to fill out your roster, so I think he's gonna be right there as a flex play.
It depends on and it depends. Obviously, it depends on your running back situation.
If you have a pathetic 10-team league like Seth, then you might
And
play him.
myself. Like, yeah, I'm running Isaiah Crowell at the number 2 for running back right now. So if I need a flex play, Alfred Morris probably would be in there right now.
Alex, yeah, he might be your number 1 play over Jordan Howard.
The hard part is, I mean, for Morris, you're just hoping for yards because they're not scoring.
No.
You know, they've scored like single-digit points the past 3 games. They're not
First
scoring.
time since the 2010 Browns.
Ouch.
I saw that stat
That
and
Brown
died.
comparison.
I
That's
about sent
good.
it to John, but
Team up next is the Giants. So Geno Smith is starting. So
they finally engaged the tanking mode.
pass catchers Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard.
Geno's throwing. Might as well drop him.
The only person
I keep him. I keep him.
I would keep
But
both of them. I'm gonna start Evan Ingram just because I think
he's good.
rookie quarterbacks and just quarterbacks that aren't very good rely on the tight end. So I think that could help.
Yeah.
But it definitely drops his value.
Oh yeah.
And Ingram has been struggling the past couple weeks, even with Manning. Past 2 games, he has 4 catches, 27 yards, and that's on 13 targets. He's been dropping the ball a lot.
Figuratively and literally.
Right. Yes, both. So it's still even hard to trust Ingram, but I agree. Out of those 2, I trust Ingram more than I trust Shepard this week and from now on.
I agree.
Oh, okay. Orleans Darkwa as well.
Yeah, I like him.
Flex play.
Yeah.
I think he's the only Giant I trusted to perform decently week to week.
Yeah, I doubt if they put in Geno, they were like, even with him in, I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep him like at minimum. I feel like they're gonna try to run the ball more.
Pull a Chicago Bears.
Yeah, like that Trubisky game where I think he threw the ball like 7 times
Right.
or something like that.
I mean, it's a smart strategy when
Especially
you have
if
Geno
you have-
Smith.
Yeah.
Last team Buccaneers. So forgot to mention in injuries, Jameis Winston was practicing at the beginning or was cleared to throw at the beginning of this week. They're testing. I believe today they were going to test out his throwing, and then if he had no soreness, then he was going to practice the rest of the week, and if he didn't have any soreness, then he was going to end up playing. So that brings me to Cameron Brate as our first Buccaneer, and I think if Jameis is playing, Cameron Brate is a must start for me. If he is not playing, however, then Cameron Brate is on your bench. I don't think he's droppable though. And I think
It's hard just because tight ends have been besides the top like 6, they haven't been super. It's been a tight end wasteland pretty much. So yeah, you're probably. I don't know. You're probably benching him.
In the past 4 weeks with Fitzpatrick, he's gotten 2.7 total points.
yes.
Yikes.
But previously with
I mean, yeah, before he was good.
he was getting double-digit fantasy games with Jameis Winston. And Jameis Winston, if he's not back this week, will be back for your playoff matchups. So he could be a sneaky tight end to go ahead and pick up if somebody dropped him.
Very
He's
true.
only available in 37% of leagues.
It's actually surprising. I thought he'd be more dropped.
Hanging
So
on.
Mike Evans up next. I still must start for me.
Yeah, you have to. You can't bench him.
I agree. He's also playing the 30th ranked pass defense this week.
So that one's
There we
pretty
go.
easy. And then the last one, Doug Martin. And then I have Jaquiz Rogers as well.
I don't think you can trust either of them. I mean, just even though they've had the carries, they haven't been doing anything with those carries. And to me, they're just neither of them are trustworthy or startable.
Yeah, I think Jacquizz Rodgers should be picked up this week at least just to see if Doug Martin is going to return. But
Right.
if Doug Martin comes back, then you shouldn't hold on to Jacquizz Rodgers.
No.
Doug Martin's kind of around Alfred Morris for me.
I'd rather have Alfred.
For
Well,
sure.
yeah, you'd rather have Alfred, but he's kind of around that type of running back where he's just a borderline flex play.
Agreed.
All right, so let's move on to our Week 6 bold predictions. Seth, can we get some music?
Oh yeah, you can, Jason.
All right.
Week 6.
Sorry.
13.
First, an ad
Gotta-
from our friends at Zola.com. They have no
Well, why an ad
relationship-
is
no
playing, we
relationship
can
to
talk
us.
about toiletlosers.com.
Speaking
it's
of
done.
ads,
So you can check out these beautiful trophies. We have the bobblehead on the toilet or the actual toilet itself with the crown at toiletlosers.com
It's way
/
better than our crappy trophy. For
Yes,
the
it's
loser.
a
They spent
legit
like $40 on it.
a legit loser
They
trophy
spent
for your
40
fantasy leagues. So go ahead and check out these high quality trophies. The link is on our homepage, so go ahead and check that out. I believe they also got a new trophy. It's a couch with a helmet on it. It looks pretty nice. And then there's also another trophy, which I forgot to mention at the front of this podcast. It is this one right here. We have a Donald Trump loser trophy. We're actually giving this one away. So first person to tweet us, Fantasy Donald, gets this bad boy right here. It is a Donald Trump on a toilet.
he's tweeting.
Yes,
He
he
doesn't
is.
look
Probably like
happy.
3 a.m.
Probably.
Yes, does not look happy. You can see he's huge on social
No, he's
media.
Huge.
Huge. So tweet us Fantasy Donald to win that trophy.
Nice.
All right, so week 12, not week 6, my bad. Up first, we have Brandon's. Well, we already mentioned his first one. Dez Bryant will be a top 10 receiver. That's incorrect. He was the 57th best receiver,
Shocker.
off by a mile.
Woo.
My first one, Devin Funchess will be a top 7 receiver. I was incorrect. He was the 20th best receiver. Jonathan, his first one, went back to the well. This is his 5th time doing this one?
I've lost track.
I think it's 5th.
Probably.
Doug Baldwin will score more points than Melvin Gordon in PPR. He was incorrect. Doug Baldwin had 4 points. Melvin Gordon had 11.8. So Jonathan is now 1 for 4 while using that bet.
You might want to stop doing that.
Yeah, I think it's time to retire.
Yeah, it's not like Brandon with the Ryan Suckup where he just keeps winning.
True.
Brandon's second one, Eli Manning will be a top 5 quarterback, and that's incorrect. He was actually the 33rd best quarterback in a league where there's only 32 teams.
How the hell is that even
How
possible?
does that happen?
Well, that happens because Jimmy Garoppolo came in for one drive and threw a touchdown pass and outscored Eli Manning's, I believe, 1.3 points.
He was in for like 30 seconds of the game, maybe even less than that, and scored more points.
I know.
That might be my favorite one, besides Brandon's one where he picked LaShawn McCoy to score 2 touchdowns on his bye week.
That was a good one.
I mean, it was more likely he does that than does Bryant cracks the top 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
I mean, yeah, it was not a good pick for you.
That's in the
My
bet on
second
Ryan Moore.
one, in Greg Olson's return, he finishes as the top 3 tight end. I
How'd
was
that work out?
incorrect. I forgot to write down what he got, but I believe he was out of the top 50 if I remember correctly.
Probably.
He only had like 1 point something points. He was removed for the foot injury that we mentioned earlier in the beginning of this podcast. And Jonathan's second one, Deion Lewis will be a top 10 running back. This was the closest one because we went 0 for 6 this week. He was actually the 15th best running back. So
Too bold.
let's take a look at the standings. They are not pretty. So Austin, 3 for 18 still, 17%. Brandon is 6 for 24, 25%. So not terrible for Brandon.
It's actually very good.
I'm
good.
at 10 for 25. I'm at 40%. I'm
Oof.
actually very good.
Well, yours aren't even bold, though.
Dang.
Oh, whatever.
Which ones have you gotten right?
Oh,
Let's see the first one.
tough
week 1.
ones. Jonathan is a whopping 2 for 25. He's at 8%.
So good.
Might want to tone down the boldness.
Yeah, I need to reevaluate.
I don't even think he has to be bold. He just gets them wrong anyway.
Doesn't matter what I choose.
So let's go ahead and start with our bold predictions. Jonathan, take it away.
My first one is a new beat. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be a top 7 quarterback this week.
Nice.
I mean, you see what he can do with 30 seconds. What can he do with the whole game?
I mean, yeah, if you extend that, he'll probably have to if at that rate, he'd score a couple hundred points.
Exactly.
He'd be the number 1 quarterback.
Maybe say, change it to QB1.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Change it to the highest scoring quarterback so far this year.
Of 2017.
So, Brandon, your first one.
Well, I'm going to go back to the well. Ryan Suckup
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
will score more points than Kareem Hunt.
Oh.
I don't know if I question
Ryan
the
Suckup has...
Yeah, because
Suck-ups
Greg
lately.
Zuerlein outscored Todd Gurley, so that's not like that outlandish. Kickers outscore.
How about you pick a running back that's actually
Steven
doing something?
Goskowski
How about
outscored
Kamara?
Tom
More than
Brady.
Kamara.
Yeah, of course.
How about Latavius Murray?
Yeah, he's a scrub.
Ryan
Oh.
Suckup will score more points than Latavius Murray?
Yeah, that'll be bet one.
Okay.
And you know what?
Let's do it.
To double down, Ryan Suckup will score more points than Alvin Kamara too. That's number 2.
Woo!
You heard it here.
Okay.
I like it.
That's probably the boldest one so far this year.
Please, I said.
Or second boldest one, I guess.
Yeah,
Actually, your 2 were pretty bold last week.
yeah, very bold.
My first one, Marcus Mariota and Dak Prescott both finished as top 10 QBs this week.
Oh. The comeback.
Yeah. It's comeback season.
Oh, there you go.
All right, Jonathan, your second one.
Okay, I think this guy, his name is Ricky Seals-Jones. I
Oh,
think
boy.
he keeps it going again this week. And I think he'll score another touchdown
Whose man's that?
and be a top 12 tight end. He's the new star tight end for the Cardinals.
He was a wide receiver at Texas A&M, and he got converted into a tight end. He got 2 touchdowns last week.
What a guy.
Yeah. Him and Gabbert got it going on.
Gabbard's been nice.
I
lately.
didn't
I might have
think-
to pick him up.
Anybody would say
Do
that.
it.
So, Brandon, your second one.
Well, I said Alvin Kamara, but I'll give you a third one because I like you guys a lot.
All
Number
right.
3, Dez Bryant
Oh, boy.
is a bottom 50 receiver. He doesn't even crack the top 50.
Wow.
love
The
this.
sad part is, I'm not even being that bold. That's the worst part about this
He
all.
flipped the script from last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Top 10 to not top 50.
Well, what was he this week? Can you scroll or last week? What was he like? He's probably
He was
50th.
57th, I
Yeah.
think.
So I mean,
Where we got?
I really
yeah,
hope-
57th.
I really hope this happens.
no, my luck will be number 1. But, you know,
His breakout week.
Yeah.
My second one, the Jaguars' defense will score more points than Vernon Davis, Greg Olsen, and Evan Ingram combined.
well, Greg Olson's not playing, so that doesn't count.
Greg Olsen is playing.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks for listening at the injury section at the beginning of this
yeah,
podcast.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I picked that up.
Busted.
So that is our bold. Actually,
It wasn't that bold though.
wasn't that bold?
Greg Olson's not gonna do much.
3 players?
You want to hear bold? Ryan Suckup is going to score more than Alvin Kamara.
That is pretty bold.
That was very
Actually,
bold.
I'll give you a bold one. Josh Gordon. It's his first week back. I think he's a top 10 receiver
Oh, you're buying into the hype.
with
Okay.
whatever quarterback they got. They
Well,
said they're going
You
to play
lose
him
if
as
it's Deshaun Kaiser by default.
I actually hope this happens, though.
they said they're going to play
Me
him
too,
as
that's
much
the
as
worst part.
possible.
Good.
Yeah.
I want to see him come
Which-
back.
Reddit would lose their minds.
Yes, so I would. So that will end our bold prediction part of the podcast. Let's move on to warning, aka risky biscuits. These are Jonathan. Go ahead.
Yeah, so these are people that are risky starts this week, and I mean, if you want to forecast beyond this week, you can as well. But just players that you would not feel good starting.
All right,
I got a
so
list.
let's each do 3 players.
Sounds good.
Jonathan.
My first one is Golden Tate. He has only had 39 yards over his past 2 games, and this week they play the Ravens, who have a very good defense, and they've been very good limiting production from the slot, which is where Golden Tate plays. They held Jarvis Landry and breakout Adam Thielen to both single-digit output this season. Sorry. So I think Golden Tate continues his struggles. I'd be risky bets with him this week.
Brandon.
Des Bryant is my number one. I mean, it's like he hasn't scored or had 100 yards in over 20 weeks, I think. I think that's what it is. I didn't look it up, but I saw it a few weeks ago where it was 15. So if he's not getting a touchdown, which Dak Prescott hasn't done for the past, 4 of the past 5 weeks, he's not going to get over double digits. So don't even bother with Des.
I have my first one is Jerick McKinnon. Just has consistently had double-digit carries, but has 0 games over 100 yards rushing this year. He hasn't scored a touchdown in 3 weeks, and in the past 3 weeks with those double-digit carries, he's averaging 35 rushing yards a game, and they're going against the Falcons this week, who have an underrated run defense.
Nice.
So, Jonathan, your second.
My second one, just Eagles running backs, all of them. They're playing Seattle Seahawks this week, and who are allowing only 2.7 yards per carry to running backs over the past 8 games. Also, it's basically become a 3-person timeshare in the backfield. Blunt's been leading the way, but it's I don't know. It's almost as impossible to predict as the Patriots' backfield has been. And if you have Jay Ajayi or LeGarrette Blount, I just don't feel good starting him this week.
Fun fact about Blount, he's got the second best elusive rating this year.
You never saw that coming.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, Brandon, your second.
Mine is Marshawn Lynch under the same logic as Des Bryant. He hasn't had double digits in a game if he hasn't scored a touchdown. And last week he did get 17 points, but he also turned 26 carries into 67 yards, which I'm not good at math. So that's like 2.7 yards a carry, I believe. So
there you go.
Yeah, don't like it.
No, and now this week they're without Crabtree and probably Cooper too. So you think they're going to be relying on Lynch, but at the same
I just
time,
have no faith in him.
I don't either.
Yeah, the Giants are probably just going to stack the box.
And the Giants' defense, they haven't been bad the past couple weeks either. Even though they are floundering, their defense hasn't been terrible.
So my second one is Doug Baldwin versus the Eagles. Just the Eagles ranked 10th. They give up the 10th least points against receivers. In 2 of the past 4 weeks, they haven't let a receiver They haven't let a team of receivers get over 100 combined yards. So, I'm meaning like all the receivers together that they play didn't get a combined over 100 yards. So,
Dang.
that's honestly pretty impressive. Doug Baldwin's kind of been struggling, and Jimmy Graham has been taking all the touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
thankfully for Seth, because he has Jimmy Graham. So, but Doug Baldwin, he's just not been the guy that you thought he'd be this year. Your third one, Jonathan.
Third one I have is DeMarco Murray. He's been risky for a while this season, but the past 4 games he's rushed 43 times and only gained 80 yards in 4 games.
Ouch.
The only thing that's saving him are his touchdowns. But he carries a very low floor, and he's not been good running the ball at all, and I don't trust him at all.
I see in your notes you described him as a woefully bad as a runner.
Woefully bad.
And I like that. That's very, very accurate.
Thank you.
Mine is Derek Carr. He's underperformed the entire season, and now he has neither one of his receiving options, so I don't expect him to do much as well.
And then my next one, my third one, the last one, the Broncos receivers, just the constant QB changing. They've been incredibly inconsistent, except for Demaryius Thomas when he had Brock Osweiler for those 3 weeks. And
it feels weird hearing that.
It's Trevor Siemian.
Seriously.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian this week. So I honestly just don't expect anything from them. And then I just want to mention real quick Evan Ingram as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the 5th best tight end overall so far this year. And then just the 2 negatives I have about him this week is he has Geno Smith as his QB.
Just a huge negative.
And
Seriously.
he has Geno Smith as his QB.
Oh.
So,
2 rough ones.
Double negative.
yes.
The one time it doesn't equal a positive.
So that is going to do it for our podcast this week. We want you, Brandon, why don't you just take it away?
I knew that music first.
Oh, Brandon, I'm on it.
Oh, thank you, Seth.
But you're going to have to start now, though, so.
All right. Just for you, Seth. Or
I'm
just-
probably going to get interrupted by an ad.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. But you can find us in the same place you could always find us, which is www.frontlinefantasyfootball.com, arguably the greatest website ever created. On there, you could find our rankings, our starts and sits, probably the best, juiciest part of the podcast. You could also find our podcasts and bios, very interesting. Also a link to
Our
these videos too.
and Jonathan's blogs.
Those are great as well.
They're there.
It's been a while since I've done this, Jason, so please have patience. But you can also find a link to these beautiful trophies at toilettrophies.com/. I don't know why they just put the backslash there, but it'll take you to the store. Really great store.
It's because it's a page and a website.
It's at Amazon.
Backslash.
Yep.
It's a great store.
High quality.
Trustworthy.
Great trophies.
Yeah, you can also go follow us on Twitter at www.twitter.com, and you could find us by going to the search bar in the top right corner, clicking on it, and typing in Frontline FF. That is Frontline FF. And if you tweet at us, you might just have a chance to win that Donald Trump on the toilet. Bet a bunch of people like that one.
You got to tweet Fantasy Donald to win this one.
Trophy's total crap.
If you go to YouTube, you can see the trophy that you could possibly win. Fantasy Donald. So, just remember, score more fantasy points than your opponent this week. Until next time.